Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. But the first thing that I want to do is recognize Moe DuBois and his wife, Rebecca, for their strength and for their courage in the midst of the death of their daughter, Amber. Moe and Rebecca have used the months since her disappearance to talk with law enforcement agencies and to develop a profound understanding of the state's response to missing children. They have developed informed opinions about the outdated and patchwork nature of California's response system. They are here today to use their energies for good, to outline a thoughtful approach to updating the manner in which we search for and recover the abducted. I'm honored to be working with Moe and Rebecca and Assemblymember Cook to jointly author 4 pieces of legislation which combined make up our Missing Children Response Package. I'm working specifically on 2 of the measures, AB 34, which is the Missing Child Notification Protection Act, and AB 1022, the Missing Child Rapid Response Act. AB 34 will bring California's system to notify people about missing children into the 21st century. Specifically, the Missing Child Notification Protection Act requires law enforcement agencies to file credible missing persons reports with the National Crime Information Center and the California Violent Crime Information Center within 2 hours of the report. That's critical, within 2 hours. There are studies that show that many times children who have been abducted are killed within 3 hours. We're going to make it 2. We're going to make sure that we respond and get the information so we increase the likelihood of saving that child's life. Right now, agencies are required to transmit this information within 4 hours, a time frame that has been in place since 1983. Clearly, technology has changed drastically in the last 27 years, and information can be and should be, in these cases, transmitted much more quickly. AB 34 also provides that the California Violent Crime Information Center shall release information contained in missing person reports to specific nonprofit organizations that are registered with the Attorney General's office, so that they can participate and assist in the search for the missing children. This is patterned after similar provisions in federal law that allow this kind of information to be shared between the National Crime Information Center and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, a nonprofit agency. California's ongoing $20 billion budget crisis has forced cutbacks in law enforcement agencies across the board. I've been saying for years that it's time that we start looking outside the box for creative solutions. This is one example. A number of nonprofit agencies have been established as a result of missing children cases throughout the last decade. It's time that we started including some of these groups as willing partners and maximize our resources when it comes to the search for missing children in California. The second measure I want to talk about is AB 1022, the Missing Child Rapid Response Act. AB 1022 establishes the California Missing Child Response Team, Rapid Response Team within the Attorney General's office. It will assist law enforcement agencies, at the request of those agencies, with the timely search and recovery of at-risk abducted children. And it will maintain up-to-date knowledge and expertise of protocols, best practices, and technologies that are most effective for recovering children in a timely manner. As I mentioned before, California currently has a patchwork system brought to bear on the recovery of missing children. Let me give you one example and how we can improve. The Amber Alert was implemented in 2003. This system has been effective in recovering missing children, but there are very specific criteria that have to be met, including the fact that an identifiable vehicle must be involved. While effective, this is not a practical, all-encompassing solution for searching for and locating all missing children. Additionally, California has a child abduction task force that's been in existence for over a decade. The task force is composed of representatives from many jurisdictions and has a mission to provide cross-sector training for first responders. But guess what? This group only meets 3 or 4 times a year, and budget cuts have reduced its capabilities to allow for only 2 regional training experiences each year. And finally, child abduction response teams, or CARTs as they're called, have begun to form across this nation to allow for the rapid response to missing children cases. CARTs consist of law enforcement investigators, Amber Alert coordinators, policymakers, search and rescue professionals, crime intelligence analysts, victim service providers, and other interagency resources. But, once again, only 2 such groups exist in California, one in Los Angeles and one in San Diego. While these are models that we should be trying to emulate, what happens when a child goes missing in Alpine or in Lake Tahoe or in some other remote area? And with our local law enforcement agencies again facing the possibility of budget cuts this year, the likelihood that these teams would be developed is slim to none. So AB 1022 will seek to follow the best practices of all of these systems and fill in the gaps with full-time expertise and knowledge by forming a strike team. We'll form a strike team within the Attorney General's office. The team's expertise will be rapidly brought to the aid of requesting law enforcement agencies to allow for targeted, multi-jurisdictional, and a high-tech approach to the search for missing children in California. Now here are some tragic statistics. Every year, there's an estimated 800,000 children that are reported missing. More than 105,000 in California alone. Do the math, ladies and gentlemen. This is more than 2,000 children each and every day. There's a clear need to bring California's laws and processes for missing person response and recovery into the 21st century. Again, let me repeat my appreciation and respect for the DuBois family for their efforts moving forward.
Very much, Senator Nava. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for inviting us here today, and to echo our tremendous support for the courage that has taken the DuBois family to come forward to consult with Assembly members Nava and Cook about these meaningful fixes to legislation that we can help further protect our kids from dangerous sexual predators. Assemblyman Cook is going to be co-authoring with Assemblyman Nava 2 measures, which I'll address in specifics. AB 33, which is the Peace Officers Missing Child Training Act. And AB 33 requires POST, which is the Peace Officer Standards of Training, to develop uniform minimum guidelines regarding the response to cases of missing children and the reporting of missing children, and to implement a course or courses of instruction for the training of law enforcement officers regarding cases of missing children and the reporting of missing children. It's important to note that training for law enforcement is the first and perhaps most important step in recovering a missing child. A quick response greatly increases the chance of successful recovery. While the duties of a peace officer are varied and the length of required training is long, training of missing children is of the utmost importance, as the early confusion or misstep, any early confusion or misstep could lead to a tragic situation for the outcome of that child. The second piece of legislation that we will be authoring in concert with Assemblyman Nava is the Sexual Predator Identification Act, which is AB 589, again authored by Mr. Cook and Mr. Nava. This bill would require the Department of Motor Vehicles, the DMV, to issue a distinctive original driver's license identification card or renewal of that driver's license or identification card that displays a distinctive color to a person required to be registered as a sex offender. Additionally, AB 589 would require the applicant to provide a current photograph and address verification to the DMV for the original license identification card and for each renewal. As Mr. Nava pointed out, unfortunately the Megan's Law database is of little use in real-world situations, and we believe that AB 589 is a tremendous step forward in being able to correct a lot of the identification issues with regard to sexual predators. So thank you for allowing me to speak on these items, and we're happy to work with the DuBois family and with Assembly members now.